Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined by the HMIC right there, Mr. Chemical Julian. And today, ladies and gentlemen, the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Man, me and Julian decided we wanted to sit down and just basically talk about the shit, man, crazy shit going on right now in professional wrestling, and it just keeps getting crazy. What the fuck is going on, man?
Oh man, there's just always breaking news. There's so much fallout from the all-out fallout. And in the news today, we get the wonderful news that not immediately, nothing's going to happen until 2023 when contracts are coming due. But allegedly,
2024,
the Young Bucks put out feelers to WWE talent, not executives, because that'd be contract tampering, but the talent to see what are the chances, or how interested are you in us coming over to your side?
Well, here's the thing that makes me laugh just a little bit about this, right? They didn't re-sign a new deal. Their options were picked up. They didn't, so their contract is over in 2024. Just as a matter of fact, it's December 31st or January 1st, 2024.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the end of 2024 is when their contracts are up. It's cool. Everybody does that shit. They just want to maximize their leverage when it comes to getting a new deal or getting the companies bid against each other. They're doing the MJF gimmick where they're getting the companies to bid against each other. Perfect. But Ryan Fredericks of Wrestling Observer reported this. Okay. After the chaos that occurred at AEW All Out, it looks like the Young Bucks are considering making a switch. Same thing Cody did earlier this year. It's reported that Nick and Matt have spoken with wrestlers about potentially moving to the WWE when their contract is over with AEW. Reaching out, sending out feelers, whatever. What everyone does it. Everybody does that shit, right? This isn't getting dangerous again, is it? No, not today. This shit happens, right? It happens all the time. But my problem with this is that this whole thing went out right before the contract tampering storyline went out. The whole issue with the contract tampering that provoked Tony Khan into doing that talent meeting beforehand. And then the AEW guys had a talent meeting right after All Out, right before All Out, where the Bucks and Kenny were like, I wouldn't have hired you guys. So it's like, wow, like the more shit comes out. Today, I watched a stream that one of the friends of this channel put out, Marie Shadows, and she basically let me start by saying this in case you don't watch this podcast when she's on. Marie Shadows is the biggest CM Punk and FTR hater. She fucking hates CM Punk. She hates FTR with a passion. If they were on fire, she wouldn't piss on them to put them out. That's crazy, right? So for her to defend CM Punk the way she did today, she made a lot of valid points.
Crazy.
A lot of valid points. People were like, including us here on this channel, on the show, we were like, why the fuck would Cody Rhodes leave AEW to go to WWE? Now, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's been bothering me and really bothering me. And I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want to bring it up on a stream yesterday and whatnot. Here's the thing. Cody Rhodes left AEW to go back to WWE. Cody is a vet. Cody's been in the business longer than the Bucks. About as long as Kenny, maybe. Cody had what was called the Codyverse. Cody wanted to do old school court. Cody is a very great storyteller. He tells amazing stories. Amazing stories. When Cody, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page all got together, they said they wanted to do what? Change the world. And JC Wright, so they're running away. LOL, change the world. They want to change the world. Well, Straight up.
But here's the
they're changing the world, all right.
Here's the thing. When these guys said they wanted to change the world, they wanted to create. This was their idea. You were going to have 5 wrestling guys run a wrestling promotion because, given their experience, their background, their lineage, their exposure, they knew how to do what's best for business. And from that standpoint, also what's best for the fans and what do the inside fans want? What are the best storylines to do? Who are the best indie wrestlers to reach out to, and just change the world and give the fans something other than sports entertainment, which is fine. That's great and that's noble. Giving the fans an alternative to a product that's currently dominating the market, I have no problem with that. I mean, it was great when you had ECW as the original ECW. It was great when you had WCW. Mm-hmm. It's great that you have Impact. It's great that you have NWA. It's great that you have New Japan, all these different flavors. However,
they need somebody. Let me get this breaking news. Let me get this breaking news out real quick.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get this breaking news out real quick. Eddie Kingston is now a New Japan Strong show due to positive COVID test.
Oh.
Now say Eddie Kingston. Fuck. He was scheduled to be in the 6-man tag team match in Las Vegas for Sunday's tapings. I believe that shit. It was Homicide, Wheeler Yuta, and Eddie Kingston against the Jay White and the Good Brothers at the New Japan Strong Autumn Action Show in Vegas. But due to the fact that he is now COVID positive, shit, that changes a lot.
So which title?
Well, which is shout out to Eddie Kingston. He was part of a 6-man tag team match.
Okay.
And New Japan Strong in Las Vegas this weekend. I just want to get that out because, that's some shit. All right, so continue with what you're saying. I'm sorry.
So what I was saying is, but in order to get a wrestling company off the ground, you need money. So essentially, they needed gas for the bus, and that gas for the bus was Tony Khan. They found a guy with a lot of money who's like a former tape trader and a wrestling fan, a fanboy, if you will, a fanboy with money, who was like, yeah, I'm in. I want to be part of this. But really soon, Tony Khan, granted, it was his money. So, of course, he wants to be CEO. He's got business experience and all that. So he wants to be CEO, head of the company and all that. And so he's CEO and he makes them EVPs, executive vice presidents. Now, what they do exactly as executive vice presidents, like what an executive vice president at any other company does, I don't think it falls into the same category. They do, one of them does merch, one does video games, the other one does something else. I don't think they're doing like real executive stuff, such as financial matters, talent handling, et cetera, but you start off with these guys, the elite, running the company. And quite literally, this is them going into business for themselves, which they did. And okay, fine. That's fine. So, AEW starts up and you have these growing pains. And eventually, Cody, the idea man, ends up kind of getting influenced out of the company, if you will. He says he wants to come back to WWE to get the championship his dad never got, et cetera. There's other reasons behind it. Cody never says what it is, but we all feel that there are rumors that he was being pushed out, left out of the elite stuff, and they kind of, non-friend zoned him. So Cody's like, all right, well, bet I'm out. One thing, Cody's very marketable. When Cody wasn't getting the push that he wanted in WWE, he went on his own. He went on the indie tour and made a buttload of money doing it and made quite the name for himself.
Sure did.
That's how he got to AEW. And so now he sees what's going on there. He sees the writing on the wall, smart dude. And he said, I'm out. He goes to WWE. They're like, hey, welcome back. And, he comes in, fighting Seth Rollins at Mania. Now these guys are like, hey, well, we're going to bring in CM Punk, the best in the world. And we got Moxley and we got Bryan Danielson. Business can't be run the same way. And you also, when you're Tony Khan, you're either the boss or you're not the boss. I mean, you're either the boss or you're their friend. You got to run the company the same way. I did a rant about this on one of the last shows, but you got to be the boss or you're not. And when CM Punk had his implosion on stage, he showed that he was not being the boss. So he decided to kind of backtrack a little bit and pull in the reins. And so it looks like what the Bucks are doing now is we're sitting at home. We're kind of having a temper tantrum that you kind of yanked our chain a little bit. So we're going to keep our names out there in the media, and we're going to leak that we're talking to WWE to better our position in terms of negotiation with our existing jobs. Because I will tell you that I'm sure that part of their suspension, there probably was brought into question their title of EVP. You can keep on doing what you're doing, running merch and doing video games, and not be called an EVP. And from a resume standpoint, being an EVP looks pretty good. People don't typically question what you did, but I could be like, oh, I was co-creative chief officer of for a podcast. And somebody questioned it, and they'd be like, oh, what did you do? I just came up with shit to talk about Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, okay. But not everyone's going to ask you to explain yourself. So now they're just trying to shop themselves around and get some leverage. Now, me personally, if I was WWE, click. Nah.
Right. You can't work well with your own company. Why the fuck would we bring you over here to cause problems?
Dude, I see so many parallels between these guys and back when it was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
I mean, it's the NWO.
Back when Impact, when Eric Bischoff was like, hey, let's bring in Hogan. And you had your Main Event Mafia and all those guys. And there's, it's not what's best for business because, not unfortunately, I mean, yeah, everybody goes to work to make money for themselves. I get it. But in the wrestling business, you have to give real talent an opportunity to progress and grow for the you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the fans. And that's where you fall into the rock and hard place. The fans want this, but I need some money in my pocket. Now, when you're just talent and you're not the one making the decisions, then that whole decision-making process is now out of your hands. And so it's not up to you. And you just have to be the best talent possible to get yourself over. When you're part of the decision-making process, you can still push yourself at several junctures and keeping yourself relevant, but it's going to be at the sacrifice of some younger talent. And one of these examples of somebody is Chris Jericho. I don't believe he's an EVP. I don't know if he has any creative direction, but given his influence in the company, he keeps himself relevant. They could book him away. They could keep him off TV if they wanted to. But Jericho, not to my satisfaction, but to the fan satisfaction at some level, keeps on doing enough things to keep him interested in wanting to see him more. Okay, fine. I'm not a fan of it, but somebody else is. So that's great. But that's not his decision to make. That is for Tony Khan and other people in creative. But as soon as you're part of creative and you're booking yourself to the top or booking yourself at a level that keeps you visible and maybe somebody else like Ricky Starks. Why is Ricky Starks in a mid card feud right now with Powerhouse Hobbs? Why are they both in the mid card? Why isn't Powerhouse Hobbs fighting Wardlow? Why isn't Ricky Starks going for the TNT title? I mean, why weren't they going after the tag team titles? Why didn't they get someone put with them to go after the trios titles?
Why is FTR not running? Why is FTR not allowed to challenge for the AEW World Tag Team belts?
Exactly.
Oh, because they're friends of Punk. Here's what we're going to do. Before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to switch all of this over to Twitch only, ladies and gentlemen. So go to Twitch right now, Roundtable Pro Wrestling POD on Twitch. You literally have 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to switch over to Twitch. And you know what? We're going to be right back. 2 and 2.